I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me. I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I started this entrepreneurial journey pretty young. Luckily, I had the dad to kind of show me the way of being an entrepreneur. So I got to kind of see the side of things that most people didn't get to see. So I started out my first, I guess you could call it business when I was like 14 or 13. I would do like landscaping. I would do yard work for people around the neighborhood. I tried to, at this point too, I was already in like the marketing mindset. So figuring out how to go out and find new clients and such. I do like do flyers. I would just go in people's mailboxes, stick flyers in there. I'd actually call people. I had a full follow-up system. I kind of got to it pretty young, and I kind of fell off it going through high school. I think high school has a way of, my personal opinion, high school has a way of putting you more towards like the worker. And it's a lot, like for me, school is a lot more for people that are trying to work forever, not really someone's trying to start up their own business. So I got tainted a little bit there. I fell off my journey at about 15. And then that brought me to the point where I started getting jobs. I wasn't a big believer in college. Again, to me, college for the most part was for people that wanted to go out, get a job, work 40 years and retire. And that just didn't even sound appealing to me. I had no motivation to do that. So I didn't do that. I went out, I got a couple jobs after I graduated high school. Never had a job longer than 6 months because I knew I was worth more than that. I just couldn't even stick with it. Never got fired. It was just by choice. So I went through this cycle a couple times. Went through like some door-to-door sales. I used to sell personal training at LA Fitness. And eventually I ended up quitting my job at LA Fitness from a thing that happened between me and my manager. And my dad ended up hitting me up at this time. I think I was about 19, just turned 19, maybe even 18 this time. So like 4 or 5 years ago. And this time he was telling me like, hey dude, I know you just quit your job. I have this cool like internet marketing opportunity I have here. I want you to come out and I'll fund it. And then you can come here and kind of like help with the marketing, help with building funnels and such. And at the time too, I was very stuck in the mindset of like, Dad, you're getting scammed, right? Like there's no way people can make money online. I went through that phase. I know everyone goes through that phase until they really open up their eyes to see that like making money online is a lot more than just like these so-called pyramid schemes everyone hears about, which in the overall scheme of things is like such a small percentage of things that are done online. Everyone kind of groups it into one thing. So I sat down with him. I went through the whole process of like, dude, like I just want to make sure he's not getting scammed. I ended up teaming up with him at that point. We never made a dollar for a long time. I worked with him for about 6 months or so. Never, ever, ever made a dollar. Like not even one sale. And I mean, this sale, we're selling things for $25 at the time. And I tried everything I could, but it just was like, I don't think my mind was right. And I ended up having to fall off. We ended up running out of money for like kind of our startup fee. I had to go back and get a job at the time. It was actually a funny story. Before I got the job, I went out to a marketing event where I did see the guy that runs AWOL now called Keala Kanae. So I saw him speak on stage here. This is probably about 3 months into my journey of affiliate marketing. And I don't remember what it was at this event. He was speaking in front of thousands of people there. I don't remember what it was, but for some reason, the moment I came into this turmoil with money, of not having the money, basically my dad wasn't going to fund it anymore. For some reason, I had the ambition to go out and reach out to him. So at the time, a big thing I was going through was there's no money here, but I have the skills. I know how to run ads. I know how to build these landing pages. I know how to build autoresponders. I know how to do all this. I just don't have the money to go out and like physically run these ads anymore. So I had to go out and find a way that I had these set of skills, and I had to find a way that I could make myself valuable in the market. So here's this really big influencer in the game. He was one of the biggest, I guess, affiliates in this company that had hundreds of thousands of people in it. For some reason, I just stuck with him, reached out to him, kind of let him know what I was going through and how I could be of service to him. So I hit him up basically saying, hey, dude, like, I have no more marketing budget, but I've been through all the training. I understand how to do all these things. Is there any way I could be of service to you at your company so you can focus on more of what you're good at, and I can take a lot of things off your plate that maybe not necessarily not good at, but that you don't want to focus on, right? And so that's how I actually started linking up with Keala. He responded back. We worked together for a couple months, and then he ended up leaving that company. So I had to go out, and at the time I was very naive. I didn't want to go back to a job because once you get into this industry, it's like, I'm never going to go back to a job ever. It's like this mental thing that you have to get over, because in order to get into entrepreneurship, you get in that mindset of, like, I don't want to get a job. No matter what I do, I'm not going back to a job. I ended up losing him as a customer who was like one of my biggest customers. we had to sit down. He's like, dude, just go back, get a job, get your finances recouped again, then go back and buy some more training, get back into the game. So I did that for about 2 years or so. Never really quite got back to it until I actually reached out to Keala about 2 years ago now. Actually, today is the 2-year anniversary of me being with AWOL, actually. Funny story. So he reached out to me, though. He was like, hey, dude, we're starting up this thing called AWOL. We need a guy with your talents to come out and help us build this company up. And I was like, I don't really know. I lived in Seattle at the time. I had a girlfriend, I had a family. That's where I grew up at. He wanted to move out to Vegas. Keep this in mind too, I've never actually met Keala in person at this time. I've only talked to him on like phone calls or Zoom calls like this. I've never even actually like met this dude, right? And at that point, I was like, you know what? If I don't make this decision right now to just go all in and chase my dreams, then I'm never going to have that change I want. Because every time I'd always think back to the times my friends would ask me, like, what are you going to do when you grow up, right? And my response every single time was, I don't know exactly, but I'm going to make money online somehow. They'd be like, how do you expect to do that? I don't know, man. I have no idea, but all I know is I'm going to make money online somehow. And so when he called me out of the blue that one time, I was like, this is the chance the universe is giving me an opportunity to just step up and really show that this is what I want to do. So I ended up taking the leap. I packed up my car, I had a house there, had a girlfriend, I had a couple dogs, had my whole family back home. I knew that this is my chance to step up. And if I really wanted this to work out, then this is going to be a happy decision I have to make. So I sold all my stuff back home, packed up my little RSX Type S, little hatchback, everything I can fit in there, which was like a couple blankets and some clothes. Like that was pretty much it. Sold everything else, packed it up, moved out to Vegas. And so I started working with the company closer at that point. I kind of helped build it up to the point that we started getting like affiliate side going. And we went from basically zero income, kind of scaled to 6 figures a year, all the way up to 8 figures a year now. So I got into it that way. But honestly, when it came down to it, when we launched our affiliate program, I knew how to build funnels, but I didn't know how to market, right? Marketing is kind of what the affiliate, you need to know how to market, right? And the cool thing about the AWOL system is that they give you the funnel. You don't have to know how to build the funnel. You just have to know how to market. And so for me, I had to go through a crash course where I did have Keala there to talk to, but me and him both agreed that I'm not going to ask him anything about this affiliate success. Because if I can't figure out how to do it, then how do we expect our affiliates that are brand new to come in, expect how to do it? Right? So I had to start out very bare bones, not know anything, have to go out, figure out on my own budgets, have to go through the training that AOL gives you, actually have to start implementing it, and just going through the processes, right? Not only just the marketing side of things, but also getting the brain right. You have to read the books. You have to go through the trainings. You have to do the audios. We have these things inside of AOL called the 5 pillars. As long as you do them, you are pretty, I'm not going to say guaranteed because people have this whole thing there, but if you do the 5 pillars, you will get the result you're looking for. You just have to be patient enough to go with the process and believe that the people that have been to where you want to get to, you have to believe them, because in order to get where you want to get to, you have to find someone that's already been there. And however they got there, you have to follow those steps to get there. You skip all the BS in between. Like for example, Keala took 12 years to be successful online. I cut that all the way down to 2 years because I just followed what he was saying as far as what to do is with the books, the audios, with the training and how to do it, what to implement, to get my lifestyle right, to get my brain right, and to really tweak all these things. I got to skip 10 years of training just because of that. So that brings me to about a year and a half ago, we launched the program. Was killing it right out of the gate. And I started making a little transition into my own products and services, which I'm working on now. And yeah, pretty much brings me to this point. Like without the AWOL affiliate program, and the training that goes along with AWOL, I seriously would not be here right now. Because I tried for years to make it online and I never made a single dollar. But taking everything that AWOL has given me has given me that chance to actually go out there and live a life of my dreams. Which I just got back from a 6-week trip in Europe. Didn't even really touch my computer. I sent out a couple emails. I made more money when I was out in Europe than I actually spent out there. And I spent a lot of money out there. It was cool. Like I didn't have to do anything. I'm still making money. And a lot of people either they'll go travel and they have to sacrifice their money or they'll have to sacrifice their time. But the cool part about this affiliate marketing is I can still make money and travel. So I've had this big mental switch. Instead of living in a land of ors, should I do this or do this? My whole life is based on ands now. So how can I travel and make money and have time to do everything I want to do? And so that's been a huge transition for me is instead of thinking of how I can do this or this, how can I do both of them? And that's why affiliate marketing is so powerful. And that's how it's got me to the point I'm at today.
Oh yeah, I'm stable. Oh yeah, no label. Oh yeah, you know me. I have only a path. I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. Yeah.